I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
Always gets so drunk after all.
Do not go hunting in the game prison.
Hello ได้ยินปะ Hello
Take it easy. Bust it.
This is order. Gather.
Game's up. Fun's over. Gotcha. I condemn you. Boom boom. Invisible evidence. Quietly now.
I will have order.
We should look for a place to take shelter. I'll be fine, but we don't want you catching a cold.
Send request
Here comes the catch. Incinerate!
This is order. Solidify.
Rack and ruin! Breath of the flame! These are about to get dicey. Ad Astra Ab. Thank you for Take it easy. Eye for an eye. I condemn you.
Solidify. Order guide you.
Eye for an eye. Boom boom. Gotcha. Vengeance will be mine. Rack and ruin.
No escape.
Ready for a rehearsal? Let's play!
Stabilize!
Invisible evidence!
I will have order.
I condemn you! Brace yourselves! Eye for an eye!
Gather!
Incinerate! Think you can get away?
Order guide you.
Let's play! Blood of Frost! Rack and Ruin!
I will have order.
Time for takeoff!
Solidify!
Time for your arraignment! Boom! Eye for an eye!
Order guide you.
Brace yourselves!
I will have order.
Think you can get away? Freeze to the core!
This is order.
เพิ่มเลือดกัน นับเพิ่มเลือดมีกี่อันนี่กว่ามีเยอะ
Gather!
Let's play! Motion to compel! Invisible evidence! I condemn you!
Solidify!
Rack and ruin! Eye for an eye! Time for takeoff!
I will have order.
Flood of frost!
Stabilize!
Brace yourselves! Incinerate! Think you can get away? Time for your arraignment!
This is order.
Let's play! Rack and ruin! Eye for an eye! Time for takeoff! More speed. Vengeance will be mine! I condemn you!
I will have order.
Can't run from
Here we go!
Gather!
Rack and ruin! Motion to compel!
Order guide you.
Eye for an eye! Brace yourselves! Invisible evidence! I condemn you! Think you can get away?
This is order.
Eye for an eye! Freeze to the core! I condemn you!
Can't run from death.
โอ้ยเสียงเจ็บคอสวัสดีค่ะ ใครเข้ามาดูบ้างเนี่ย พูดคุยได้นะคะ เสียงอาจจะแปลกๆนิดนึง แม่น้ำสวยอ่ะ
Let's go get ourselves some answers.
Boom!
Another test subject.
Here comes the catch.
Done. The wrong test subject.
คือตรงไหนอีกอะเนี่ย
Busted.
Motion to compel.
Stabilize.
Unsolicited, and all the more valuable for it.
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
Solidify. Order guide you.
Boom! Time for your arraignment. Rack and ruin. Vengeance will be mine. Eye for an eye.
Busted. Take it easy. Quietly now. Game's up. Fun's over.
I condemn you.
Stabilize. I will have order.
อะไรอ่ะอีนี่มันพวกโคมไฟเหรอเปลวไฟอ่ะ ฮะ อะไรขึ้น จี
Stabilize.
ไม่มีตรงไหนอีกเนี่ยเอ๊ะคืออะไรอ่ะ อ๋อ น้ำมันเป็นน้ำไอ้นี่หรอ น้ำพุร้อน ก็ว่าอยู่ทำไมถึงตายทำไงดี เปิดแท่นนี้ก่อนดีกว่า
Incinerate!
แล้วยังไง
Rack and ruin!
ไป ไง
Solidified!
ขึ้นไปไงก่อน
Ready for a rehearsal?
Gather!
Let's play! Yahoo!
Stabilize!
Brace yourselves.
งงไงก็ไม่ได้ต้องทำยังไงระดับที่สูง
Here we go. Yahoo!
เฮ้ย วายคืออะไรอ่ะ
Wouldn't gliding be faster? Huh. Huh? Brace yourselves.
อะไรไม่เป็นหัว ก็คือเราต้องเก็บอะไรอ่ะหนึ่งเอ๊ะ อันนี้เหรอ มันไอ้สามเหลี่ยมมันอยู่ด้านล่าง ก็คือเราต้องฝ่านน้ำพุร้อนนี้ไปเหรอ ไปตายพอดี
Solidified!
โ
certainly worth the extra mile.
เอ๊ะนี่คืออะไร
Gather!
Eye for an eye.
น้ำเผือกร้อนต้องทำอะไร อืม ไปหาอีตัวนี้หรอหรือไงมันเข้าใจถูกปะเนี่ย
Rack and ruin.
Stabilize! Order guide you!
I condemn you.
Take it easy. Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
Rack and ruin.
Quietly now.
Time for takeoff.
Gather! Stabilize!
Yahoo!
อะไรอ่ะจะพาฉันมาไหน โอ้มีอยู่เหรอ นี่มันที่ไหนเนี่ย
Good grief. Yeah.
อ เหนื่อยละ ทำไม่ได้
Brace yourselves. Think you can get away?
King's up. Fun's over. Busted.
Eye for an eye. More speed. More speed.
Things are about to get dicey. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy.
เล่นมาตั้งเกือบชั่วโมง ยังไม่ได้ไปไหนเลย มาต่อเนื้อเรื่องดีกว่า
It is settled then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus. Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us? Oh.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you. Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rusula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine. But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already. Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques. I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups. They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept. Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar. You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House? Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a 3rd person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a 3rd person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
It's always just like teachers. You gotta invest a lot before you can start earning.
Hey, Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the Guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Take it easy.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more, see if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it.
Tells a story.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father. Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the still really hard. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending... Florent? But Espina di Rosula... So
you're saying he's too...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able... Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with us if the mecha were taken from the
Who could it be? You know, if you think...
Could we be missing...
The suspect is knowledge... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in there... We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something...
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui Harbinger called...
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him.
Well, he's been accused of being the...
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought. If the charge...
Right.
Yeah.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is a... You're right. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in...
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver.
We heard. It's our hope that...
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably...
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie?
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate. During the banquet, when the guests arrived at the scene, the guards' investigation did not. The suspect did not dispute this. Callus was defeated by. These are the known facts.
The one with... after that... however... The testimony of how... This assassin... A pile of cloak, but since it... Realizing this, the...
So that's That's what happened. Wait, your
What a great theory.
Mr. Marcel.
Ah, but I...
Then, may I add one?
Boo! If you don't have any evidence...
I may not have the evidence. We should be able to, considering the serial
That makes sense.
Maybe she's scared.
Alternatively,
My second question has to do with the... Then why didn't Mr. Callis explain himself in court? If he had testified...
I've thought about this too. The dissolving power. My father could have exposed at that time what was certain.
boss once told.
What?
If the secret had of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of. But what good would that do? Had this up, but by staying, I was able to become. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge,
So,
that's right.
do you have any...
Of course, all you need. I don't need your but since he
As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless in my line of work. Just one look and I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr.
Since that's your testimony...
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you...
Right? What she said was fat.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are, in my father's case, the culprit intended to, and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being, the culprit could only time their actions so precisely if coincidentally.
So that's why I'm used to it, though.
No need to...
I won't try to... On top of that, does a person have to be physically...
Know what she can say to them.
I know that alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt, but if I were to just... Do you know what the...
I suppose you're...
It's timing. I'm a businessman in addition, but the
I do apologize.
No.
Is there anything... You can also take a look at my border entry records. Or could those records and testimonies do something to appease the...
Seems like she... At this rate...
I think you've done us but aren't you going... He wished for you to... Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into...
This isn't just about me. And it never... The biggest difference... The people whose many people's... And whose... Is it a man?
Huh.
Oh. I was wait...
Rack and ruin!
Boom!
Quietly now.
This is order!
Game's up. Fun's over.
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Gotcha.
Solidify!
Incinerate!
Eye for an eye.
Busted.
Order guide you.
Invisible evidence.
Things are about to get dicey.
I condemn you. More speed.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Motion to compel. Rack and ruin.
Quietly now.
Flood of frost. Eye for an eye.
Here comes the catch.
Solidify!
After all, though, as expected, the mastermind. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence. What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are... Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? And then they were turned into water. And all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible. What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before. How could someone write something that terrible in such a... You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of these experiments. But did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it? No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case, Paimon will write it all down. Let's see what's written here. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation. Yep, it's about finding someone to assess. This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have the old dog. He can act when I concur. Let's send some... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the... Mixing in Prague... Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep! Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water! That means this is where they make all this... If you dilute it with normal water, Paimon will take note... We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like... Yeah, we haven't found anything that... No wonder even Nervalet... That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera... Sure thing, Paimon won't admit to... Vashay's lover? Then... Aw... So many! The final name... Marcel! Wait, but... Marcel's pretty old.
And whose image? Is it a man named... Oh. I was
Navia! We're back!
As expected.
Just how off?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, you even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignere. I promise. We made a promise. Vignere. Vignere. Please, Vignere. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignere. During an underwater expedition, Vignere accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignere back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to during the course of his research. Vacher discovered, however, as he accumulated wealth to fund after exchanging, although the assassin and just recently. However, his attempt thus conclude the oratrice. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves! Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to, so if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I don't...
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has...
Yeah, so are the... My dearest citizens, did you really think... Don't tell me.
But the way she looked just...
However, and... if you thought child had nothing to do with everything, all shall... Now, having said that...
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying...
She probably just put on... However, please be...
All right. After all...
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose from. Need me to come up with some for you? Take it easy.
Stabilize!
Yahoo!
Rack and ruin!
I will have order!
Take it easy.
Brace yourself.
You